One big sticking point that a lot of people may have when they're trying to communicate with others is their subcommunication is communicating the wrong things. There's the content of what you say, and then there's the subcommunication, the nonverbal communication. It could be emotional, it could be your body language, all of that. When you think about it, for most of human history, people were meeting each other and getting to know each other before words even existed. Like our ancestors from way back in the day, they did a lot of nonverbal speaking. That's why sometimes when you're talking to somebody, if something's a little bit off in their vibe, like maybe they're smiling and they're like, hey, you can tell. It's like a visceral feeling you get. I'll tell you this story. It's one time a doctor for a checkup, right? Doctors, from my understanding, they have to study a lot. They're indoors all day, spend years studying. And I don't know if this guy really socialized a lot. And I think in a book he read that in order to be better with your patients, you need to smile. So this poor dude, nice dude, he meant well, but he was weird.